There's one thing you've been putting off. You already know which one. Not the list. One task. The specific one that came to mind just now, before I finished the sentence. It isn't the hardest thing you have to do. If it were only hard, you'd have started by now. It's the one that makes you feel something. You were never really avoiding the task. You've been avoiding a feeling, and you've gotten very good at it. Go back to the last time you were about to start. Not the version you'd describe out loud. The actual moment. You were close. The document was open, or your hand was near it, or you'd just told yourself, now. And then something turned you. The phone was suddenly in your hand. Another tab. A message that could easily have waited. The dishes, which had never once mattered until exactly then. Or nothing that visible. Just a thought. Later. I'll do it later. When I'm fresher. When my head is clearer. It doesn't feel like avoidance while it's happening. It feels like a perfectly reasonable moment to do something else. But somewhere in there, in the half-second before you looked away, there was a feeling. You might not even have a word for it. Dread, maybe. A flat, heavy boredom, or something quieter. You felt it for less than a second. Then you were somewhere else, doing something else, and it was gone. That's the part that matters. Not that you left, that it stopped. The moment you turned away, the feeling eased, the pressure dropped, the discomfort let go, and that felt good. Not good like pleasure, good like relief. Your brain doesn't need the other thing, the phone, the tab, the suddenly clean kitchen, to be wonderful. It only needs the bad feeling to end. And when something makes a bad feeling end, the brain quietly remembers the move that did it, not as a decision you'd recognize, as a route. So the next time you come near that task and the same feeling starts to rise, the exit is already there, already learned, a little faster than it was before. You don't choose it. You just look up and you're somewhere else again, wondering where the last hour went. This has a name, negative reinforcement, but the name was never what kept you stuck. The relief was. A move that makes a bad feeling stop gets a little stronger every single time it works. So here is what actually happened. Every time. You didn't avoid the task. You avoided the feeling the task gave you, and when looking away made that feeling stop, something in you learned a small, durable thing. Escape works. It never grows. The escape does, and you think about it. Constantly. More than almost anything else you have to do. You carry it around. You rehearse starting it in your head. And still it sits there. Because the thinking is safe, and the starting is not. You've probably already explained all of this to yourself, and reached for the cruelest explanation available. If I really cared, I'd have done it by now. I must not care enough. I must be lazy. Something in me must be broken. Turn that over. How strong the feeling gets tends to track what the task can cost you. The more that feels at stake, the more there is to feel. The task that makes you feel the most is usually the one that matters the most. The stakes are high because you care, because you can picture it going wrong, because some part of you has already imagined finishing it badly, and what that might say about you. More caring, more stakes, more feeling, more to escape. It's why you can clear 10 small things off your list in a single afternoon and never once touch the one that counts. The small ones can't hurt you. There's nothing at risk in a reply, in a tidy inbox, in a folder finally sorted. It isn't laziness in those hours. It's precision. You are being very precise about staying away from the one thing that can actually reach you. So the thing you keep walking away from, it may not be the thing you care about least. It may be the one thing you care about too much to risk. Go back to that task. The one that surfaced before I finished my first sentence. It's still there. It's been there the whole time. And maybe now it looks a little different, not as evidence that you're failing, as information. The difficulty of starting it might be telling you something true, that this one reaches you, that it can touch something real, that it matters enough to make you feel. You've had a lot of practice at the turning away. You're good at it now. What would you feel if you stopped looking away?